Okay boys, today is finally the day that I get to show you the new project car that I bought for the YouTube channel, and it's a 350Z. Let me show you what it looks like. Okay boys, here it is. This is our new 2005 350Z that we got specifically for the YouTube channel that we're going to do a full build on. Let me give you the walk around on it. So as I just stated a second ago, it's an 05, it's an Enthusiast model, 6-speed, it's got 98,000 miles I believe, and of course it's an old used car, so it's got some funny stuff going on up here. It's got some dings, some dents, some scratches. The headlights are a little foggy, but you know, whatever. It's got the OEM xenon headlights, a little bit of curb rash on the wheels. The tint is kind of falling off. See if you can see here, some of the tint is kind of coming up a bit. You can probably see it right here as well. And normal 350Z stuff. But this is it. This is the project car. Hopping inside of it, we can see that it's definitely a 15-year-old car. It's a 2005, it's 2019, it's almost 15 years old. So this piece isn't exactly working. The oil pressure gauge is fully maxed out when you're driving, so that doesn't work. We've got an upgraded Pioneer head unit here. Ashtray cover thing missing here. We got some stuff in here, so it's not absolutely perfect, but I think it's going to be a great platform to build on. So a lot of people have been asking me, why a 350Z out of everything else? Why not a Miata? Why not a Mustang? Why not a WRX, etc.? And the answer is pretty simple. Let me take you for a drive. And from a driver's perspective, I bought this car because it's a balanced car, and I have not had a rear-wheel drive car in quite a while. The last rear-wheel drive performance car I had was a Fox body Mustang with a built 302, and while that car was awesome, it was not a particularly great driver's car. Sure, it was light, sure it had a lot of power, but it wasn't set up incredibly well, and it was very tail happy, very hard to drive, did not teach very good driving habits. So the Z, you can almost think of like a big Miata, and the fact that it's very well balanced. It's not incredibly fast, can't corner incredibly well, doesn't have a lot of power, but it's just very well balanced and it teaches very good driving habits. So for me, I just wanted this car because it's a great driver's car. Teaches good habits, it's very well balanced. You can take it to the track, you can take it to the autocross, you can daily drive it. You can do pretty much anything you want with it. Now from a business perspective, I bought this car because it's basically the best platform that I could buy and build for YouTube right now. It's cheap to buy, so you can buy a Z like this with under 100,000 miles. This one has 97,000 miles. You can buy these from anywhere from maybe $6,000 to $10,000, depending on if you get a DE or an HR. This one's a DE. I'm not going to say exactly how much I paid for it, but it was on the lower end of that $6,000 to $10,000 range. It's also cheap to modify these. There's a lot of aftermarket support for these, and there are a lot of parts for these, and it's all relatively affordable. So it's cheap for me to buy, it's cheap for me to build, and on top of that, it's a car that a lot of people in my age range desire. So my main target demographic for YouTube is primarily men 18 to 35, and a lot of men 18 to 35 want a cheap sports car. What's a good cheap sports car? A 350Z. And it doesn't take, it's not incredibly hard to figure out that this is a popular car. If you just look on the internet, look up 350Z or Z33 on YouTube, there is a gazillion videos of these things. And that's because there's a lot of people interested in these, and there's a lot of them out there. So I think from a business perspective, this is probably the best car that I could build and buy right now. Now, as far as what's wrong with the car, right? It's a used car, it's not absolutely perfect. The rear suspension is a little bit soft, a little bit bouncy. That's not a problem because I plan on replacing it with coilovers here in about a month or two. There's some lifter tick, which I know is somewhat normal with these Z's, but this one seems to have excessive lifter tick at very specific RPMs, and it's very, very loud. What else? The clutch on this is very chattery, very grabby, and very loud and clicky and weird. Again, apparently that's a normal 350Z thing. but it seems a little bit excessive on this one, so I'm not sure if the clutch needs to be replaced on it. But overall, like mechanically, it's a pretty solid car. I've been driving it now for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. I probably put a few hundred miles on it already, and nothing has gone majorly wrong with it. So it's a solid car. And again, for, you know, anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000, I honestly think this is probably the best performance car you could buy in that price range. Now, you could go for a Miata, but I wanted something a little bit bigger and a little bit more comfortable, and quite frankly, I don't fit very well in Miatas at 6'2", 6'3", so it's just not something I wanted to get. Now, as far as plans for this car, there is going to be a full build on this car. We're doing intake, exhaust, tuning, coilovers, wheels, tires, a little bit of aero. We're going to take it to the track, we're going to take it autocross, we're going to take it to car shows, we're going to do everything with it. But first we got to finish the CRF Supermoto build, which is almost done. Once the Supermoto build is done, we're going to move on to this and start the build. Okay boys, that's going to do it for this video. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos with this car, because like I said, we're going to be doing a full build on it. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all that. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.